Jestem na stoisku firmy Dumary. Tutaj jest zaadaptowany silnik diesla przerobiony na wodór. I zaraz poproszę pana, żeby tutaj powiedział dwa słowa na ten temat. Well, okay. So will you be so kind to explain what changes have been done in the engine in order to work with hydrogen?
So this was an internal combustion engine, a diesel internal combustion engine, of course with direct injection. And what we have done was modify the engine. So this that you can see here are the spark plugs that were put in place of the injector. Then we have over here you can see the injectors. This was modified in order to be an indirect injection system, so a PF5 basically. There are two injectors per every cylinder because one injector was not enough. And basically the injector injects the hydrogen fuel inside the intake manifold here. And then what we have done in the retrofitting of the engine was modify, of course, the intake manifold, as you can see here. And we have also had to modify the piston's head because the ball is completely different, and also the compression ratio is different, it's lower because with hydrogen we would have a lot of detonation more than with diesel because it is already a gaseous combustion, a gaseous fuel. And then there were also some modifications inside as for the lubricant, because if you use an oil, a commercial oil that is not specifically developed for hydrogen, you can have a lot of detonation and unwanted and abnormal combustion because the oil vapors that remain in the collector in the aspiration collector, they can during the compression phase inside the cylinder, they can basically ignite the unwanted combustions. So these are the main modifications that we have done on the engine.
I have a tricky question. I mean, I had some opinions that it's not so feasible to use to burn hydrogen in the standard combustion engine instead of using the fuel cells. So what is your opinion about that?
The thing is that they are two different. They are different and they have different application. The internal combustion engine is, if you want, easier. And what is very beautiful about the internal combustion engine when compared to the fuel cell is that you don't have a purity strict. You don't have a purity requirement. You don't need the hydrogen 5.0 in the internal combustion engine because you have to burn it. So that's the advantage that you have.
It's a very important point.
And that's an important point.
What is the level of clearance of the hydrogen?
Basically, you can burn something like 80% hydrogen and 10% methane and 10% CO2 without problem.
Okay, so and in terms of regulations well, what about the authorities? Will they treat it as a clean transport or rather not? What is your opinion?
One of the issues that we still have is the after treatment, of course. We are working on it. We have developed the after treatment solution, and that's something that in a fuel cell you don't have, of course, but in internal combustion engine you need to have. So if you can keep the emission levels of NOx, for example, or for CO sometimes, if you can keep the emission levels low, then it is as clean as a fuel cell can be.
Okay. Thank you very much for the explanation.
Well,
thank you.
But the thing is that these are for different applications. Like this, with this you can use like dirty hydrogen, and this is for dirty hydrogen. While for green hydrogen that comes from electrolysis that has a higher level of purity by design, then you can use the fuel cell because it has a higher efficiency. So
okay, I understand. Thank you.